Hello and welcome, race fans. We got a good one here for you tonight with the Vigilante Racing League on this fantabulous Wednesday night. We've got some Texas Motor Speedway racing action here, and these guys in these trucks are all hopped up and ready to go as they make their way around this mile-and-a-half quad oval track. We can't wait to bring you the great racing action these guys have for you here tonight. But first, let's get things started off with the National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, I am Alan Brown, and my boss is gonna find out that I do not make threats, I make promises. As I got a good buddy down there always making promises that he keeps. It's Mr. Alan English, as we have a great one here tonight for everybody at Texas. Alan,
I sure try to, man, but yeah, man, Texas Motor Speedway, one of those great places to race, especially after they did the reconfigure on this track a couple of years ago. So turns 1 and 2 are completely different from turns 3 and 4. You got a wider set and a narrower set, a little bit more banking on one side than the other. So it's important at a track like this not to lose track of where you are on the track. It can get a little bit confusing, especially once you run a few laps, and we're going to run 100 of them here tonight.
Indeed, and ready for all the racing and door banging action that we love to see out here in the Wild West. Is Mr. Adam Turner down there on pit road. Adam, how are we looking tonight on that cooler?
Well, the cooler's full. We're right here at my home track. Daytime race, a little warm out, 103, so you're gonna need a lot of hydration, probably a lot of cold beer, eh? Probably you'll get you some Elsinore English.
Take off, poser.
One fast repair, 70% fuel, 4 sets of tires. They bumped up the DQ to 17x incident points. You're going to DQ. That's probably a solid number. I think these guys can manage it. It's going to be hot though. That's the main thing. The stickiness of the track and slipperiness, really. So I don't know. It's Texas, man. Home track. I love this place. It's a fun place to race. Fun place to watch a race. So
that it is. As we take a look at that race info for this quad oval racing track, like you said, a little toasty, but not too bad yet. These guys make their way around here, and we can see that weather looking a-okay for these drivers. But we do have a key to that race, and man, it is watch it coming out of that turn 2 exit. We've seen, even with this repave, before the repave, how many times have we seen trucks just go flying out of that exit there?
Yeah, tons. I mean, literally, there's tons of guys that get up there into that wall. And this kind of, the quad oval kind of layout of this reminds me a lot of Charlotte. There are a few differences as far as banking and the width of the track as well. But, you know, I'm curious to see if these guys are going to have the same trouble coming out of turn 4 to that flat wall right there as they did at Charlotte. I guess we'll see tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. The tri-oval, I think, is it's like quad oval, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very tricky. It feels like it tightens up. So I think may see some issues up front there too. So in the front stretch. So who knows? That's why we race them.
Matt, we will, as these guys continue to put some laps down here in qualifying. Got a whole bunch. Oh my goodness, we got so many more guys with the face cams here tonight out there putting some laps down, and just like that, man, the qualifying is already over with as these drivers head on down there to take the grid. We'll do a full rundown here of where everybody is at, and this is going to be a interesting race up here at the front, at least to begin with, as the first couple of guys here. Let me get that showing for you here. It's going to be Timothy Pope up there on the pole position. That 728 machine looking very quick, but the 81 of Jonathan Osborne is looking just as quick there in second, and we saw those two get into it at the end of last week's race, so we'll just have to wait and see how they manage it here tonight. Got the 2 of David Emig starting here in third, with the 5 of Jonah Long starting off strong up there in fourth. The 751 of Mike Adamson will be starting here in fifth, with the 18 of Andrew Player starting in sixth. Seventh, we have the 753 of Jeremiah Burke, with the 33 of Jess Vaught starting here in 8th. Ninth, we have the 64 of Trevor Robertson, with the 10 of Andrew Cawthon rounding out tonight's starting top 10.
Ricky Wittenberg in that 55 machine is going to start row 6 on the inside, and to his outside is Buddy and ours, the 92 of Greg Klein. Kelly Keel and Russ Kilgore make up row number 7. Row number 8 is going to be the 9 of Jonathan Wiley and the 63 of Josh Oxendine. Let's see. Row number 9 is going to be the 28 of George Rincon and the 68 of Dustin Wade. And rounding out your top 20, the 99 of Chris Zofeld and the 57 of Russ Endicott in row 10.
76, Jeff Ottinger, 21st. 29, Dave the Mouth Mayberry starts this thing 22nd. 747, Albert Anderson will begin 23rd. 48, Jack the Ripper Dixon starts 24th. 25, Cody Tarrant will start 25th. 88, Cody Sanderson starts 26th. 49, David L. Kelly will start this thing 27th. 14, Dustin Eaton, 28th. 8, Poke Salad Tony Poke, start 29th. 34, Mike the Spy Sobanovsky, he'll start there in 30th. 82, Mike Everidge, 31st. 74, Robert Jordan, 32nd. 58, Robert Chipman will start 33rd. 1, 2, 3 of John Gallagher, 34th. 11 of Chad McCabe, 35th. 20th, Jeffrey Johnson, 36th. 22, Matt Beamer. 6 of Austin Reeves. 37 of Dustin Ridley, and 13 of Earl Evans rounded out, man. Ooh, wait, there's a couple more. But go ahead. I can't get them all down.
I was going to say, we have so many guys, we can't get them all in here as they go green flag racing out here for the first time, side by side, setting it on down into turns 1 and 2. Go Pope and Osborne. Long is going to try to jump out on that outside line, try to get around that 2 of Emig as they're still fighting up here at the front. Osborne moving down low.
Crash in the back. Sorry about that. Brown, it was right in the back.
Charlie Herkus and Deion Jones were both right. They were the last 2 drivers that we didn't get fit in there. I think Deion Jones came over the radio. Not sure if he was directly involved in that.
I think he was one of them, but hell, you have to sift through all these cars.
Oh, man. Looks like the 37 of Dustin really. Just like I said, you got to watch out that turn 2 exit, man. He just starts getting a little sideways here. Let's go ahead and go up to our chopper camera as coming out of that exit just a little sideways. Oh, does as much as he can to save it, but just drops right down there in front of the 20. It looks like Matt Beamer getting kind of collected up towards the later end of that. Let's kind of see what happened here.
That cold tires, man. The tires aren't up to temp, not up to pressure yet. You don't have any grip back there, so he found out when that back end come around.
Well, he sure did. Just Jeffrey Johnson got smoked there. Well, cold tires. Everybody's antsy to run. They were kind of running 3 wide a little bit all over the track, weren't they, Brown?
Definitely a lot of 2 wide, but definitely some 3 wide all squeaking in there. As these guys, they're running pretty aggressive here at this repave of Texas, and things are looking mighty quick out there as these guys are rearing to go. And we do get our first caution early here tonight. But don't you worry, we still got plenty of racing action left. They did change the rules around a little bit here, folks. They are, instead of doing the 2 stage breaks, they're just going to have a single midway stage break. So that's one of the other big changes that they've made after reviewing last week's races and all the previous stuff. Just trying to get things cleaned up here and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see if that helps. But either way, we'll be having some racing action going all the way until at least lap 100, maybe even some bonus stuff here.
YouTube chat is popping off. I think that's what the kids say now. Earl Evans says, let's do this. Rebecca Smith, ready to race out there tonight. Ready to watch some racing. Let's see. Team Albert's in the house. Albert's Papa Albert Anderson out there pulling for Albert. Jonah Long's here saying Team Orangutan all the way. Ashley Osborne cheering on Chachi in the 81. And she also told Earl, she said, let's get a little more track time tonight. Out there and pound the pavement. And Edith Anderson joining us again, saying we got another Team Anderson member present. Stand up and be recognized there, Edith. We're glad you're here. See some good racing at this track if we can get these yellows under control early.
Well, I mean, there's 42 cars. Hell, I couldn't even get through everybody. And I realized we were starting to think, Brad, that was my bad. I was trying to rattle them off, but it's tough, especially you have this much traffic. It's almost like, driving to Dallas, hitting a 30 and 35 to the 20 connection.
Yeah. That one's not as bad as a couple of other those connectors.
Well, they got
3610 is a bad one.
Yeah.
You're not kidding us. Joined tonight here by Greg Klein. You also saw Jonathan Osborne and Jeremiah Burke joining us here with the face cams tonight. And we still got more to go, man. We got a lot of drivers here wanting to put their face out there. It's always good to have, names to faces, faces to names, that kind of thing. And we get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Jonathan Osborne, Timothy Pope swap positions here and are going to restart in just a little bit differently as that pace truck makes its way on down into pit road. As we get up and ready here, side by side, they get revved on up. Racing once again down and across the line, side by side, sending it off down into turns 1 and 2. Able to try to keep things clean here as Osborne's starting to get a little bit of a run here. Jonah Long's going to try to follow him, moving up underneath that 728 of Timothy Pope. But we do have like 3 wide going on behind him. Mike Adamson, Andrew Player, man, and Jeremiah Burke went 3 wide there for a second, able to hold it off of each other. Ooh, almost looked like Adamson got a little loose there in the middle of turns 3 and 4, but he was able to bring it on back around to keep it safe. But we still got even more racing going on through this field as these guys head back once again into turns 1 and 2.
Got a few teammates here trying to get together. Those guys using the force, the 33, the 01, and the 92 are all real close to each other. Got Ricky Wittenberg in between them there, and that Charlie Brown, great pumpkin paint scheme. What a paint scheme. That's awesome looking, Ricky. Kathy Anderson's here as well. Want to make sure she gets recognized. And Justin Davidson pulling for Chachi, and so is Steve Morris.
Yeah, we're going to have to hear from y'all tonight because we can't watch all these trucks on the track. It is difficult. I'm watching kind of the back end of the field right now, and there's just lots of movement. Michael Edwards is making the move up here. Robert Jordan, David Kelly, they're all kind of fighting it out for 30th place. Hell, that That's just for 30th. What's going on up in the middle or front there, guys?
We also just had Albert Anderson making some moves, getting around the 76, and now the 14 of Dustin Eaton continuing his charge on up through the field, trying to follow his example here. Is that 48 of Jack the Ripper Dixon. Behind him, he's got the 99 of Chris Zofeld as well. Hot Rod Mayberry trying to stick in it here, still side by side with Cody Tarrant, Robert Jordan right there. Got Pope Salatoni still in the mix, fighting it out. Man, these guys are racing hard here, down and across the line once again. Jonah Long leapfrogging over Jonathan Osborne up at the front to take the lead here. He's going to try to put some good lead laps down and in, and maybe try to run away with this one until at least lap 50. These guys probably going to have to make a pit stop somewhere right around lap 25, lap 30. They're probably going to try to split this one as evenly as possible as they continue to try to set record pacing laps here.
Josh Oxendine, that's number 63, Bobcat Goodweiser at Ford F-150, putting the pressure on the 92. He's been getting close up there on those two Vigilante Force drivers right there in front of him. He just can't quite get there to make the pass, but he's been side by side with Klein a little bit.
Yeah, well, what's kind of nuts is we're pretty much single file. A little bit of battles all the way back to like 20th place, even 22nd. I mean, they're close together. Everybody's still kind of within striking distance. It looks like.
Start to see some attempts to pass on the outside as Kelly Keel gets to the outside of the 55 of Ricky Wittenberg, trying to make a pass. I believe that's for 10th place. I'm sorry, 9th place.
And still side by side here, and looks like Kelly's going to lose a couple of spots as he's also was going to the outside of his teammate there, the 33 of Jess Vaught, able to slide back down into that inside row. But now you got Ox. He's looking mighty strong here, trying to follow some of these guys through, maybe on the outside, maybe try to dive it on to the inside. As the 7 of Russ Kilgore, he getting his name up here into the mix.
Yeah. A lot of good racing. Hadn't seen too much anger or hatred. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
There was some frustration from a couple of the drivers about that first accident, saying, come on, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, first lap, come on. Come on, man.
Early frustration. I want to see that late heated frustration that carries over into next week. And I'm sure we'll see some of it. These guys, there's 42 trucks out here, and everybody wants to win, so it's going to be quite the battle all night.
That it is, as the 68 of Dustin Wade tries to make some moves here, as they're almost 3 wide in front of him, as he's got that 747 red, white, and blue America's Driver Machine of Albert Anderson sitting right there in front of him, battling here, trying to get up into that top 15 at some point. Up here towards the front, we've had some people making some moves. Timothy Pope letting that 2 of David Emig around and just going to ride around on his tail bumper here right for a second, maybe saving some tires, saving a little bit of fuel. And so we know Timothy Pope, man, he'll definitely give up a spot. Oh, Osborne hard into the outside wall, down into the inside wall. He's going to try to hold it on down there without bouncing too much up onto the track. He's going to be a little slow on the bottom line here.
Well, that aero damage is definitely going to hurt him, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, he's done. He needs to come in and fix that thing. One fast repair, he's going to have to use it. He's going to ride around, take his chances. Maybe something else will happen. So tough.
Watch those temperatures for sure, huh?
Yeah, it's a tough break for John.
Yeah, it was looking very strong here tonight as Jonah Long gets the lead and starts to try to drive away from the field here. Got about a half-second gap back there to David Emig, but it looks like Emig's going to start to try to close that one up a little bit now that Jonathan Osborne isn't kind of stuck in between them there. Andrew Player as well having a pretty solid night right now, up there into 4th, driving that 18 machine. Let's see if I can't get this one highlighted right, as He's up there with the VR and the face cam here tonight, side by side with Mike Adamson right now. And he's got Trevor Robertson, the 64, not too far behind them as well.
Well, something that's interesting, I just thought of this because I'm kind of like an idiot. But now if you take away everybody's skill and you just do math, and there's 42 trucks out here, I mean, really, you got a better chance of entering chicken crab bingo at Jenny's Little Longhorn in Austin on a Sunday afternoon than you do of winning this thing. That's how hard this is going to be to win. You know?
That's a big field, but I think as you'll see as the race goes on, it'll kind of thin itself out a little bit, I believe. Ashley Osborne giving her brother Chachi a warning saying, stay out of those walls. They are not your friend, Chachi. Stay out of the walls. Watch those temps, though. I know you got some damage on the front end.
Oh, man, almost some contact up here. Jeremiah Burke getting very racy with Greg Klein and Josh Oxendine right there as well. They've got Kelly Keel not too far up the road as well in their sights. Ricky Wittenberg dropping a few spots here, down to 12th outside of that top 10 right now. Maybe just saving his stuff for a run later on. Ooh, as we got some bobbing and weaving, as maybe someone getting a little loose again, or maybe a little tight coming out of turn number 2.
They're having some fun on the radio a little bit, Burke and Klein, but they're talking about Klein's paint, and it is shiny. That is a shiny paint. I like those chrome-looking paints. Klein's a chrome guy, isn't he, in the 92 Monster Toyota.
Gotta be shiny.
I like that.
Well, I think you're going to see some guys are going to be fighting a loose condition. Some guys are going to be fighting a tight condition. It depends a lot on how these guys enter and exit the turns, as which tires on the truck are getting the worst wear. It'll definitely affect steering of these trucks, and some guys might be fighting both. I know sometimes I'd come to these type of tracks and I'll be loose coming in and tight coming off the turn, or vice versa.
As the 2 of David Emig takes the lead of this one, bops around that 5 of Jonah Long. Ooh, almost going 3 wide there as they make their way around that 20 machine, going another lap down. That's Ethan Johnson in the Home Depot machine right there. You got Emig, Long, and Pope starting to run away a little bit here, but Mike Adamson saying, not too fast, boys. I'm going to get to run and reel you guys in a little bit here, trying to climb back up there. As side by side for the lead once again go Long and Emig.
Well, they're burning up their tires, aren't they? Acting like that up front right now. Pope's probably just kind of laughing at him. He's sit back and watch him.
He's one of them cats that knows how to save some tires, that's for sure. We see it every week. Every week we come to one of these type of tracks anyhow.
Man, still side by side here as the 2 is able to get really that work done on the outside lane. I think Timothy Pope was going to try to follow him here on that outside. Maybe get a little bit of run here coming out of turn number 4.
Oxendine had a huge run on the 92, but Greg Klein moved down there and slammed the door on him. Now he's beside Ricky Wittenberg, and Klein is trying to get around Player up here in the 18.
Well, there's a lot of traffic behind them as well. Georgia and Cone back here.
It's a teammate.
There's some battles right behind them. Oxendine, Wittenberg, Player, Klein. That's a really good bunch right there.
You ain't kidding us. 14 of Dustin Eaton's already up 8 spots on the day. He's up to 20th right now. You also got the 1, 2, 3 of John Gallagher right now in 25th, trying to at least get up to that top 25 at some point. He's up 9 on the day. Austin Reeves driving the 6 machine. He's doing a pretty good job here tonight, staying on that lead lap right now. In 30th and already up 8. Again, trying to continue to move on up forward through this field. as looks like Timothy Pope was finally able to get back around that 5 machine of Jonah Long.
Here we go. Ox is on the move again. He's got a teammate with him right behind him there, the Goodweiser team captain, George Rincon, and they're trying to get around Andrew Player right now at McConey setup shop forward. It's hard to pass. It looks like a lot of guys are having a lot of difficulty passing on the inside.
Yeah, Oxendine's trying. We'll see if that pans out for him in the 63 Goodweiser machine. Looks like he does.
Bringing his teammate with him.
Sure.
And look who's back there waiting in the wings. And that number 7, the Rocket Man, Russ Kilgore, and that Rod Baker Ford F-150. He's coming right along for the ride.
Yeah. They left him out there, but he'll look at him. He just will tucked in right behind him, and it's like Player will be passed by several cars right now, or trucks. I'm sorry.
If he's not careful, he's going to have that 747 of Albert Anderson doing the same thing, but he's got to be cautious here as the 10 of Andrew Cawthon. He's coming up here in a hurry with Jonathan Wiley and Dustin Wade right behind him, all looking racy and ready to improve upon their spots here tonight as these guys continue to put green flag laps down here from Texas Motor Speedway.
Acacia Melcher joining us over there on YouTube saying, "Go Kelly in the 01, Kelly Keel." Part of Vigilante Force team out there. I love these leagues that do the team concept deal. I mean, it's just so cool to watch the teams helping each other and working together, and it adds a whole new dynamic to this online racing stuff.
Emulation, not a game. Remember that. These guys are really working hard out there with the wheel and pedals, and it mimics real life here at Texas. So it's going to be a long evening, and they're a third of the way through the thing.
Just about, as we're starting to see some pit road action happen. Jonah Long, Josh Oxendine coming on down, Dustin Eaton, Mike Everidge, David Kelly all coming down as well. As Emig continues to lead this race, Timothy Pope there in tow. 64 Robertson, he's still out there running some strong laps, trying to chase down that 33 of Jess Vaught. And we're starting to enter in that crucial time, guys, as Greg Klein makes a move on the low side of Kelly Keel here of these green flag pit stops, man. These things are absolutely dangerous. And it's we've seen it bite a few drivers, not necessarily here tonight yet, but we've seen it in the past.
You can tell the guys that practice getting their speed down and hitting their marks to enter the pit lane. They're coming off is, not as difficult. You just hold your speed to the cone and stay below that blue line there as you're coming back out onto the track to merge onto the backstretch. But you really got to watch your speed coming in.
Yeah, when coming out too, you got to worry about those cold tires. You could spin it.
Oh yeah.
You could really hurt yourself and the others. So it's kind of a dangerous game coming out of pits here on this green flag stuff.
Now, I haven't really driven around here, as you can see there, the 747, Anderson, Adamson, Dustin Wade, and Jack the Ripper Dixon all coming on down into pit lane for their green flag pit stops here on this stage. Is that bump still there in the exit of turn number 2? Because I remember that was really the big issue at the old pavement here, as Timothy Pope is going to leapfrog over that 2 of David Emig, who goes on down into pit lane. He's got Jess Vaught and Trevor Robertson down there in tow. Yeah,
I believe that's gone now, isn't it, Adam?
I think so.
We could ride around with somebody as they come through 1 and 2, but Rick on the pit lane, the 10 car, or a 10 truck, Andrew Cawthon got spun around there. Don't know if he had any help.
There's some bumping and banging. Keel just hit Player on pit road. Nothing major.
Hey,
Tim Pope down pit lane.
Come on, you ain't ever been going down the road and a car in front of you is going slower than the speed limit, and you want to give them a little bump, get them up to speed?
Oh yeah, I've done that before. You're supposed to, aren't you? Just kind of tap them.
Yeah.
I don't see I'm with Robertson right now looking for that bump. I don't see it per se, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Yeah, that
Even
old
with the
track
gyro
was-
cam, you can't tell anything's there.
Yeah, that old track, that was a tricky portion there. But they changed it all because Jimmy Johnson was killing everybody. Had to change the whole track up.
As Klein and Wittenberg make their pit stops here, George Rincon gonna inherit the lead here as they continue to put green flag laps down here in stage number 1, which again will be ending at the completion of lap number 50. Robert Chipman, Dion Jones, Russell Endicott in that 57 machine all coming down as well. So we're just about there to complete this cycle, just waiting on George Rincon, and here he comes. So the pit cycle is done, and it looks like Jonah Long with that earlier pit stop here gonna try to make as much. Oh, as we
Yellow's out.
we got a yellow here, and I got a feeling it's for our sponsored, not sponsored machine. 13,
Yeah, Earl.
13 of Earl Evans.
I think he was coming out of the pits. Was he not?
Again?
Yeah,
That
he kicked
happened
it-
the other night to him.
Yeah, he kicked it loose coming out of the pits.
Oh,
Luckily,
no.
I'm thinking it didn't get anybody else. It just he's got his tail out, and I think that's going to make for some fun.
Well, last time that happened to him, was that last night or Monday night? He was fighting
Ooh.
64 Cale Tuberville coming out of the pits trying to fight for position, and they wrecked each other.
As the tail end of that was as he was trying to get back up to speed, that corner was a little blind here, and I don't think the 11 saw him, and he ended up hitting that inside wall pretty hard to 92. Greg Klein was able to check up in time for it here, but heavy contact there for the 11. Maybe not seeing exactly where that 13 was.
Oh yeah, okay. He didn't know that it was a checkup, but thank God he avoided Greg Klein there. Can't ruin that chrome, that blue chrome. Oh, hey. That's
Ashley Osborne said that was last night when Earl done that. And she said, "Holy smokes!"
Oh, was it? I can't remember.
It was.
Earl's getting a little wild out there. You gotta
Yeah.
don't smoke those tires too early, Earl.
Don't have a backup truck.
Well, this may not necessarily be what that 5 of Jonah Long wanted, but it is what that 28 of George Rincon wanted, because that caution came out just as he was coming out of pit lane there, like on that back straightaway part, and he was right behind Jonah and in between him and Mike Adamson, so he's able to hold on to the second spot with that very late pit stop here as we go under pacing for the second time here tonight at Texas, which, as always, we need to do some sponsor thinking here, like DND Race Grafix, spelled Grafix. Those are all done by Mr. Ricky Wittenberg. He does some fantastic paint schemes out there, like you got that Charlie Brown pumpkin one here tonight, as he's kind of showing off his work here, and he does a lot of really good work on a lot of cars, as long as it's got some straight edges and whatnot. He does a really good job over there. So be sure to go look them up on Facebook and on Trading Paints to get yourself a customized paint job done by D&D Race Graphics here today. But as well as you got Ricky's real life business of Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. If you're looking to buy or sell your house in that Johnson City, Tennessee area or across the country, give Ricky Wittenberg a call at 423-444-0454. As this housing market, man, out of everything that I've heard, it's just going to get even more crazy. So be sure to get yourself a good quality realtor that you know you can trust, and don't do it alone. And Ricky Wittenberg is one of those guys that can help you out. And if you're not in that Johnson City, Tennessee area, man, he'll give you a card from one of his Rolodex numbers there in the area that you're looking for to be sure you get a good one.
The good thing about that is Ricky will talk to you, kind of get your personality down and stuff like that, and then he'll say, "Okay, this guy, Fred Joe in Mississippi. This is the perfect guy to go talk to Alan Brown about his house. So he's really good about that. That's one of the tricks of the realty thing, I guess, is really finding an agent that's going to get along with you real good.
Yeah.
Or you find one that has two first
names. Yeah.
Like you just said, Freddie Joe. I want that guy. I'll hire him. Hired.
Well, another paint that's out there, that 123 machine. Oh, that one will give you nightmares. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger paint. You guys really getting into the Halloween spirit. I like it.
You ain't kidding. As we're looking at the 14, Dustin Eaton here. He's got a nice paint scheme running here tonight. Up 15 spots for him. Doing pretty good. Albert Anderson now's up 14 spots. Kind of started way back there, but definitely making it on up. Like you're saying, that 123, John Gallagher, he's up 14 now, cracking up inside that top 20, looking very good. And, you know, that's a beautiful thing here that we get. Oh, what happened to Jess that he ended up going a lap down here? Was he just stuck a lap down from when the caution came out?
May have been.
Because I'm cycling through this field, and I'm like, man, we still got, 41 drivers racing out here, and we had 42 take to the track. As everybody's getting all stacked up, racked up, and ready to rumble with only about 9 or 8 laps left here in this first stage.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get that stage out of the way, get a little break, kind of collect your thoughts and all that. And like 2 races in one, which I think is really cool. I like that.
Gives these guys a chance to breathe too, you know.
As that pace truck peels off down into pit lane, here we go once again. Jonah Long, this time he's got that 28 of Rincon on his outside. Green flag racing, and away we go, setting it off down into turns 1 and 2. Still side by side. Looks like Long getting just a little bit better of a jump here as this field makes its way onto that exit of turn number 2. Looking very good and racy up at the front. 751, Mike Adamson bobbing and weaving, trying to pick a lane here. Same thing with that 28. He's now looking down low on that 5 machine.
Oh! Check that out. A little 3 wide action going there.
Yeah, Pope squeezed through there. I don't know who was on the high side, but
Jeremiah Burke, and I think he's kind of slowed down a little bit. I thought he's maybe in tire save mode here. Oxendine, look at him driving up through the middle between Wittenberg and the 14.
that worked its way out.
I'm still learning numbers. Dustin Eaton.
Yeah, it's a little difficult when there's 42 of them to kind of figure out who's who. You know,
And this is the 5th race of the week, you know.
there's a lot going on in our brains.
As the 28 gets a run on the inside here, getting past that 5 of Long. David Emig in that 2 is trying to follow, doing the same thing, trying to get some of those spots back here on this restart and getting towards the later ends of this stage. And as always, man, with the way the new playoffs are going to be working, and you win and you're in, all of these points that these guys are fighting for here, trying to climb up into this top 10, man, they mean everything. Because as soon as we start getting some multiple winners here out here in the Vigilante Racing League, you know, it's going to get pretty crazy on the points side. Who's going to make it in?
Ashley Osborne says she loves Halloween spirit. She says it's getting hairy out there right now. Anthony Levick saying let's go. Thank y'all all so much for joining us over there on YouTube and chatting it up out there with us tonight.
Yeah, that's the best part, getting to talk to everybody out there who's watching their favorite
yeah.
driver. I know they're not watching because of us. We're watching because of the race, just like y'all. And having a good time right now. When are we going to have this stage break? At 50?
At the end of 50, as man, oh man, here comes Albert Anderson with a big charge. He knows he's got a stage break coming. He's not trying to save any tires here. Fighting his way up through the traffic side by side with Jonah Long right now. Ooh, we had someone down there smoking up the grass a little bit, able to keep it all together here. Russ Kilgore in that 7 machine trying to do the same. fight his way up through this field. It's the 2 of David Emick starts to run away here. It's the 64 Trevor Robertson isn't too far behind him, and they're going to start running into some lap traffic already here. So we've only got about 3 laps left to go in this stage.
I've seen a couple cars, including the 92 Klein, cutting down and kind of cutting the grass there. Whoa, we got a wreck coming into the pits here. Into the grass, I should say, at the pit entrance. Dustin Eaton right in the middle of it.
Wow.
Yellow's out.
These boys are smoking that grass. They need to go about 75 miles north to Oklahoma. You can smoke that grass all you want. You know, it's
You meant
legal.
the infield grass.
Oh.
I don't know what they got planted out there. I mean, you might be right.
What happened here on this crash?
Oh, just people getting all collected here, going for the same spot on the racetrack. Let's go back and take a look from the chopper cam. You see there the 14 of Eaton just getting kind of tangled up as it was almost 3 wide. Oh, there was an incident in front of him here. Let's slow this one down real quick. The 63 and the 92 bang doors here, and I think the 14 checks up just a little bit because he sees that the 63 is drifting to that outside a little bit as the 18 kind of does the same, trying to come up the track, and then they had another truck kind of split them down low and try to make it on through. Thankfully, everybody, for the most part, able to save it and at least either escape through the grass or come on down through pit lane.
Good view right there. Adam, did you just hear the radio traffic?
No, I was trying to watch that replay. What happened?
Laurie, our race administrator, said that's going to be the stage right there.
Okay, see, that makes sense.
We kind of figured that would be.
I was too, because I was watching there. Greg Klein does not, he holds his line. And someone came down on Greg and then the check up behind him. It's just a racing deal. I don't see anything off the chain there.
I've never doored Greg, but I've been doored a lot by Greg.
No, he holds his line like a champ. He just, if he's behind you, that's where you got to watch out. He'll just turn you.
Oh, yeah, he'll dump you. He'll Klein you. That's what we used to call it.
As the 2 of David Emick is going to be tonight's winner here for the first stage. Now these guys are going to get stacked back up and ready to go racing here again in just a few as excuse me, racing out here for the second stage. Let's see that 2 machine. He is part of the race drivers meeting team, the fake team that's we call it here. Let's go ahead.
He's an independent driver.
Independent driver here as we like to pull these guys up to the booth. Dave, you got a copy, buddy? Dave Emick, guys in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I'd be having radio problem. He's blinking out a little bit too there, boys.
He don't want to talk to us.
Maybe not.
That's all right. So we'll let him go, get back down out there onto the track, and hang on out there. But we can. I got a feeling the 64 Trevor Robertson, though. I'm sure he's going to be one ready to talk. Let's. I got to do some scrolling here. Not used to this many teams now. Part of that good Wiser Racing team, I believe. Yes, sir. Hey, Trevor Robertson, guys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, racing pretty strong up there at the front, getting that stage break now and having a chance to maybe cool down a little bit here. But the racing's been hot in Texas tonight.
It sure has. It's really tight as far as like amount of room. You got to be real careful not to clip somebody's quarter panel or something like that. But it's handling pretty good.
We got at least one teammate right there up there with you in the 28, George Rincon. We saw he was running with another one of y'all's teammates here earlier. How much does the team concept really come into a mile and a half like this besides pit strategy? Are you guys helping each other out by holding gaps or anything on the track?
Oh, just, if there's a situation and you can lift the throttle and let them in. I mean, we'll lift and let somebody in line or something like that. But we're on slightly different pit strategies, so let's just have to see how it works out.
Awesome, man. Well, getting some very important bonus stage points here for that stage number 1, and we'll let you get back down to your good Wiser team, and good luck the rest of the ways here, buddy.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Well, I think something was going on. I heard.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what was he saying.
He was saying he was. I guess it was a different button he had mapped for push to talk. That's why he couldn't talk back to us, but we just heard him talking, explaining that to race admins on there. So
all right. Well,
we'll get a hold of him here before too long. I have a feeling that we're not done with the yellows just yet.
No, I think you are right as this field gets all stacked back up behind this pace truck. Lights are off with the 2 of Emig, 64 of Robertson starting side by side, 28 of George Rincon, and 747 Albert Anderson right behind them. Klein, Long, Gallagher, Kelly, David Kelly, Austin Reeves, you got Cody Tarrant all up inside this top 10 right now, but we still got racing left to go as here we go back to the green flag, side by side action down and across the line and into turns 1 and 2. Still gonna be side by side here as the 747 Albert Anderson really getting a good run on that outside, able to get around that 28 of George Rincon. That 92 Greg Klein looking very strong on that outside line as well. So I think people are maybe starting to find out where these tires will grip, especially as the tires are a little cold and need to warm up just a little bit. Oh, hard impact into the outside wall. I believe that's that 49 of David Kelly. He's just going to continue drifting on back through this field a little bit. He's just getting absolutely mob crushed. As you can see all the traffic behind him here. 3 wide, 4 wide coming out of turn number 2.
That back into the field, we're still 3 or 4 wide back here at 29, 28, 27. Wow.
That was a near miss. Well, I was saying earlier about guys cutting across the grass. You saw another truck do it just then. Of course, that was to avoid an accident, but I'd say Greg Klein kind of cut the corners a little bit in the quad oval a couple of times on a fresh set of tires. And, you know, if you go a little bit too far, though, you get a 1X, then things will start piling up on you. And we got a 17X limit before they DQ you.
Yeah, I think we're going to be good with the 17. We were a little short.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good balance.
Yeah, they just got to find a sweet spot. It's not easy to manage these leagues and figure out what's best for the league. Right now, the race is really good, so.
Jack Nixon's camera.
Got some Dale action going on. As you can see from the roof, he got some racing action going on here in front of him. Mike Adamson finally figuring out a way to get around that 29 of Hot Rod Mayberry. He's been racing with the 9 of Jonathan Wiley as well as the 92 Greg Klein falls back a couple spots here, trying to stay in front of that 25 of Cody Tarrant right now. A lot of guys up big double digits numbers like that 123 John Gallagher up 28 spots, and man, you only get that kind of progress here when you get a big field like this, but you also have to be pretty clean. Same thing with the 6 of Austin Reeves up 29. Goodness gracious, these guys are moving here tonight.
Yeah, quick laps and a lot of quick moves. Working your way from the back here is very difficult, though.
It's hard to pass here. I mean, you look at how wide this track is, and you think, you know, there's an opportunity to run so many different kinds of lines here, but there's only really one good one. And you're trying to fight these other drivers for that line, so
yeah, you have to.
Well, deceiving.
They have to make a mistake in front of you. And like, looks like Russ Kilgore's taking advantage of. Oh, 99.
Yeah.
Zofeld looked like he hit the back of Tony Polk and kind of lost it. But while I was watching Kilgore, he just took advantage of Ricky sliding up high a little bit and took the position from him. So I guess that's the way you can do it.
I like that paint on Tony Polk's machine too. That Craftsman, kind of old school Craftsman Tools paint job on the 8. Very cool.
Now starting to kind of single file out just a little bit here, but don't worry, we still got a lot of racing going on here as the 82 tries to make a move here on that 8, moving up to the inside. You also got the 81 Jonathan Osborne in that 99 of the Bond villain Chris Ofeld hanging out there as well, trying to continue his climb up through this field.
I thought you had forgotten about that. That tickles me to death.
Yeah. It sure did.
Wasn't he the
tickle
bad
me.
guy on Spectre? Zofeld?
I think it was Blofeld, but I can't remember which one. And I really like those James Bond movies.
I don't watch them. They're not even American. I only watch American stuff.
What are you talking about? Felix is American.
Who's that?
He's the CIA guy that always meets up with them somewhere, like in the Bahamas or something. Felix is always there.
I don't trust him.
728 of Timothy Pope trying to make his move, getting back up towards the front of this field, getting around the 92 of Greg Klein. Austin Reeves trying to follow suit, but he's got the 751 Mike Adamson and the 753 Jeremiah Burke sitting right there behind him. As Cody Sanderson, man, he's been fighting all night long just to try to hold on to a top 10 spot. And man, it's hard to keep up there up the front.
Yeah, Blofeld was the guy that had the cat in his lap, remember? In Thunderball?
No.
Alright, never mind.
I'll tell you, I think I did watch one when I was a kid, and it was for your eyes only, and I think I saw some things my little eyes shouldn't have seen back then. Maybe I am a fan of James Bond movies. Just had a flashback. Wow, brought back memories. 3 wide back here a little bit, almost. Yeah, let's see who was that. Adamson, Reeves, Gallagher, and the 1-2-3. Klein's back there. Man.
Austin Reeves in the top 10 right now in that number 6 rambling about racing machine. I don't see any teammates right there around him right now.
Listened to a little bit of their podcast the other night. It was actually pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty good listen over there. So I suggest people tuning on into that little podcast they got going on, rambling about racing.
See if I can find a link.
Yeah, give us a link to that thing.
They were talking about when they met up down there at Talladega and had a good time down there. It was always good to hear.
There's so many podcasts about like history or growing potatoes or RVing that I can stand, so this might be something different. Drop the link, English.
Yeah, I'm dropping it right now. This is their Facebook page, but they got links to their YouTube podcast videos, so here you go. Give them a like and subscribe, and while you're at it, if you like what you see here on AAA Broadcasting, give us a thumbs up down there for this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're over 200 subscribers here now. We sure appreciate all you guys.
We need about 2 million so I can afford my potato farm and get out of town.
What happened to your yacht fund?
Well, no,
You
I'm
have
going
to dip into that for the RV?
I did, just a touch, but I'm going to start full-time giant potato farming, so I need a little more money. And, so go ahead, like, subscribe, and everybody contribute. We're going to have some fun. I'll still do this when I'm big time, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, side-by-side contact there. 7 of Kilgore. He beats and bangs. I think that was the 88 of Cody Sanderson getting snagged up in there a little bit as they were side-by-side. But thankfully, both drivers able to keep it on the straight and narrow for the most part. Ricky Wittenberg trying to make some spots back now here on lap 67 out of 100. So probably in the next 10 laps, maybe 15 laps, we're going to see these guys come on down for their final pit stops of the night as David Emick continues to lead laps here from Texas.
Slim chances out there on YouTube saying Dustin Wade is the best driver out there. Currently, Dustin Wade's sitting in 24th place, but he's still on the lead lap. He's only 8 seconds or 8.5 seconds off the leader. So, I mean, anything can happen here. As I know we're going to get at least one more caution here, I'm sure. And then Ashley Osborne letting us know, we appreciate you, gentlemen. Great A show as always. Thank you so much, Ashley. That means a lot to us. It really does. I seen the 99 as Zofeld bouncing off the outside wall there. Adam, did you see that?
He must have put that James Bond slicks on and just run over his own
Ran
oil.
over his own oil slick.
Yeah, I don't know. That was
Oh,
nice.
man.
You got the COVID again? What are you coughing for?
Oh, no. I just,
Professional broadcast here.
regular old sinus drainage. I'm sorry about
Does
that.
it just catch up to you and you can't catch it? I know how that is. Sometimes I
Yeah,
get
sometimes.
I like when a cat's in the house and the cat's like I'm allergic to them, so they get near me. I start coughing and sneezing, uncontrollable. So you got a cat running around your house, or you good?
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay, just checking on you.
Man, as we got a just massive mob of trucks here, kind of towards the tail end. I should say more at the middle of the pack. It's crazy to say 20 is the middle of the pack here, but Zofeld, Oxendine, Chipman, Vaught. We were seeing maybe some hockey moves out here from these guys, not race car driving. As we got some body checks being thrown a little bit here.
Oh.
Whether it's on purpose or not, either way, it's some beating and banger bumper grinding action here from Texas Motor Speedway. Starting to see some people come on down, make their pit stops here. Albert Anderson right now up into third, trying to hold off that 28 of George Rincon. George just trying to sneak that nose where Albert Anderson isn't. Mike Adamson as well, trying to have some luck here getting around Jeremiah Burke, not quite able to do so. Kelly Keel not too far behind him here. Kelly having a very solid race.
Albert called out his pits. He's coming down. America's driver is going to come down in the pits.
And pop Albert Anderson out there saying next caution will be the money stop. It looks like the money stop for Albert's going to be right now. So he's got to get in there and hit that thing just right. Was there a tire limit tonight, Adam?
Yeah, 4
didn't
sets
know.
of tires.
Four sets.
So I think we're good. They've split this thing into thirds. So this is our second pit stop for pretty much everybody, if I remember right.
Pretty much. I don't remember seeing too many people come on down. Maybe just some of the guys, of course, the tail end of this field picking up tires here on that kind of staged brake caution. But as more and more people head on down into pit lane, Emig, Robertson, Klein, all coming down into the pits. And we will have even more come on down here shortly as the 28 of George Rincon trying to get around some lap traffic here. That's that 22 of Matt Beamer right now, right in front of him here as they're in turns 3 and 4. He does have some traffic underneath him here, so if he wanted to, he could not have pitted. I believe that's the 76 of Jeff Ottinger down there below him here, but he's got to be careful because he's got that 728 of Timothy Pope sitting right there behind him, making some moves as well. You got Ricky Wittenberg now back up into the top 10 right now as things kind of cycle on around. The 81 Jonathan Osborne sitting right there in front of him. Robert Chipman in that 58 trying to make some moves here as well, kind of caught between Oxendine and Vaught right now as they wait to make their next round of pit stops. Andrew Player now coming on down into the pits with a couple other people in tow. Looks like Oxendine coming on down. Same thing with Pope Salatoni making his way on down for his final pit stop of this race. Man, Adamson now really losing some positions here. He had the 7 of Kilgore, and now the 48 of Jack the Ripper Dixon make some moves around him here, maybe cooking those tires just a little bit too much.
Well, that is the fun thing. You just never know what's going to happen to that right front tire. You can burn it up real quick here to almost 0. So looks like Rincon is coming down, so he will no longer be in lead. Looks like, is that Tim Pope going to take the lead?
That it is, and he has teammate Jeremiah Burke not too far behind him here as these guys continue to put green flag laps down here from Texas with 23 laps left remaining. Osborne and Wittenberg still having a pretty good race back here. You got Adamson getting involved in this one. Kelly Keel still out in front of that 7 of Kilgore. Other than that, things starting to spread out just a little bit. Albert Anderson, Jonah Long, both hitting their pit boxes here. They're in a race for some spots. Same thing with that 64 Trevor Robertson and the 2 of David Emig, who's just up the road from them here, as they try to fight to get their lead lap back before these guys up at the front to make their final pit stops.
Ooh.
3 wide right here. Oh.
You're looking at Adamson there?
Yeah. Wide again. He likes to run that middle. Low. He's going to jump down in front of Anderson here.
Well, right in front of him is Jonathan Osborne. What a fight back he's had to make it all the way up to 5th.
And look at the difference on the new tires for Albert Anderson. He's just driving everybody around like they're standing still. At least these guys that run on some older tires.
Yeah, those new shoes will do that for you. You can really make up ground fast if everybody's not on the same page.
Kelly Keel and Robert Shipman coming on down into pit lane. As you can see there, that 5 Jonah Long, man, he just had an opening between the 48 and the 7 and just plops it right down there through the middle with a big charge. Ooh, Albert Anderson now coming with that big charge coming up on that slower traffic. Moves on down last second, sticking it here into turns 3 and 4. Goodness gracious, talk about sending it. As Chris Zofeld, you got Timothy Pope, Jeremiah Burke coming on down. Same thing with Kilgore and Adamson. Looks like Jack the Ripper Dixon's going to lead a couple of laps here. Osborne and Wittenberg not too far behind. Mike Sobanovsky, you got Russell Endicott and Robert Jordan still out there as well, as these guys continue to make their way on down. Ooh, Chad McCabe having a little bit of an issue down there. Trying to find his name on the leaderboard here.
Emily Jane Smith and Rebecca Smith spotting each other over there in the chat, saying hi to each other. And Emily's saying, looks like it's been a pretty good race so far. Let's keep her going. Edith Anderson said, are they going to have this many trucks racing all the time? That's what they're trying to do. They've got a lot of members, but they only have 43 pit stalls available. So some of these guys are going to have to qualify their way in.
They will. Here comes Osborne in for his final pit stop. Ooh, truck into the outside wall. Oh, man, it looks like that was the Home Depot machine 20 of Ethan Johnson, man. Just really wasn't ever able to get back going here after that first round of cautions and whatnot. But, man, he's trying all he can. And we started today with 42, and we still have 41 running. We really haven't seen too many big-time issues from too many of these guys, as Adamson trying to work his way around with that new, fresh rubber around that 7 of Kilgore. Sobanovsky and Osborne still trying to work their way in and out of these pits, as Ricky Wittenberg, your lone guy, still sitting out there trying to stay in front as much as possible before coming on in to hit that pit box.
Yeah, and look what that's done. You've only got 7 trucks on the lead lap, including Anderson, who did already pit. Look at him flying up the leaderboard. He's currently in 4th. His dad saying, that looked like that was a pretty good call after all. Good job, son. Emily Jane Smith, 30-second laps, 15 laps to go. As long as your phone lasts about 7 or 8 more minutes, you'll get to see the checker flag if there's not a caution.
Got to get you one of those smart TVs there, Emily, and get the YouTube
that's right.
downloaded on that.
I can cast it to my TV, and I can turn my phone off, and it'll still play on my TV.
Man, look at all the fancy stuff y'all are talking
Technology.
about.
Yeah, you'd just be a little too confused by it, Turner. I think it's.
Yeah, I don't need to cast anything except a fishing line.
You can put some aluminum foil on your rabbit ears, and you might be able to pick it up. I'm not
Hey, that actually works. You got to go to the top of the hill, though. You put it on the top of the barn out there, and you put it up high. It works. You can get them all the way to Dallas.
Well, David Emig regains the lead here as the field completes its pit cycle. But we still got some racing left to go. 14 laps to be exact. He's got Trevor Robertson right there on his tail. Anderson has a little bit of work to do, just about 3 seconds to try to catch up to that 64 machine. That might be a pretty strong ask as those guys are running some really hot laps. Saw there Jeremiah Burke hanging around there in 7th. You can see the 6 of Austin Reeves right now, right behind that 92. Greg Klein fighting for some of these top 10 spots, but don't turn your head away from that 33 of Jess Vaught either. He's fighting back from being stuck that one lap down on one of those kind of weird pit cycle, and then caution came out, all that kind of stuff. As he gets his lap back, now trying to fight to get back up in there into a top 10 spot. Jonathan Osborne as well. He's got some of the freshest rubber out there. He's going to start cutting and dicing his way up back through this field up to 14th right now. 63 of Josh Oxendine is going to try to do the same back here in 20th. 25 Cody Tarrant as well. Trying to slice and dice as we got racing action going on around here at the racing track.
Austin Reeves up 28 spots right there at 10th spot. What a climb he's had up the ladder.
Yeah, we've had a couple. Yeah, Albert Anderson's up 20. George Cohn's up 10. John Gallagher's up 20. Average is up 10. Sanderson's up 10. Just, typical. They've probably gotten a good luck zone there, maybe with some tires, and worked their way up quickly. Hopefully they can keep pushing that positivity up to the front of this thing.
Albert still looks like he's gaining on the leader. He's currently 3 seconds behind the leader right now, and it's slowly kind of ticking down. Then it'll kind of stabilize. I'm not sure he's got enough to get up there. That's a tough road to hoe. It's a long way up there.
Well, it
really
is.
Needs to stack back up.
Yeah, maybe one of his teammates can throw a caution. You know how they do that in real life, where they fake the caution, but they get a caution.
Throw a roll bar pad out the window or something.
Yeah, it probably doesn't fly here. They're pretty strict around here. I think they'd catch on to that, and heads will be spinning, man. Heads will roll.
I will say right now, Albert really doesn't have too much of a challenge coming up from behind him position-wise, and he's got a pretty good spot on track where no one's around him. So, I mean, he can kind of pick and choose his lines, kind of do whatever works for him, and not really worry too much about this traffic. He will want to try to catch up here soon, as we've got 8 laps left to go. Jonah Long, Jeremiah Burke having a good battle here. Jonah Long had a very good race going on from the get-go, just kind of maybe trickled on down through this pack just a little bit, as you see there the 34 machine kind of getting back around him here with some of that fresh rubber. That's Mike Sabanowski.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, 2/10 per lap. Albert's got to be a little quicker than that if he's going to catch these guys before the end of the race, but it looks like his advance is starting to slow. Well, the number 2, he's out there. He's got 8/10 on Trevor Robertson right now. He's just kind of managing the gap right now, I believe. Watching his relative, only driving as fast as he needs to maintain that gap between himself and the 64.
Yeah, we've got 27 trucks here on the lead lap right now. We got racing still going on all over the place. Like right now, we got that 9 of Jonathan Wiley. He's having a race with that 58 of Robert Shipman right now. Excuse me.
Got them hiccups. Need somebody to come up and scare you, don't you?
No, I chugged some water real quick. Cause man, these guys have been racing so much. I've been talking a lot. And
Yeah. Well, it's been great. I love seeing the green flag action out here. And there's enough trucks out here on this mile and a half to make it interesting all the way around. There's really no, dead spots in the track where there's not action happening. It's pretty spread out.
Yeah, like right now, Greg Klein trying to take over that 10th spot away from Jonathan Osborne. Not quite able to do so. And here comes his teammate, the 33, Just Fought. Again, trying to crack up inside that top 10 here tonight with a pretty good fight back. With 4 laps left remaining here, Jonah Long as well. He's got the 01 Kelly Keel creeping up on his back here. Oh, just drifting up the track. I think he's really feeling those older tires. Jonah being one of those guys opting in for that kind of earlier pit strategy. Maybe thinking, if I pit early and a caution comes out, I got the jump on a lot of these guys. And right now, kind of slowly fading backwards here, but still pretty secure up inside this top 10 with 3 laps to go now. Albert Anderson has got teammate Timothy Pope coming up behind him here. Going to be interesting how the team works that one out, as Anderson and Pope on par with that same team. Looks like Pope coming up with a big head of steam. Jeremiah Burke not too far behind. Is going to look down low here and make his way around Albert.
Comes the 22 cooking around this track. It's breast cancer awareness ribbon on the front of that truck. October, all month is breast cancer awareness month, so I lost my train of thought where I was going.
Well, the thing's almost getting ready for this thing to be over.
You ain't kidding, as David Emig, with a little over a 1 second gap, comes down and across the line, takes the white flag, so no more cautions here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. We're finishing this one at the end of this lap. Catching up into a little bit of traffic here. Ooh, gonna get a little dicey as the 13, Earl Evans, he's trying to race for some spots still. Side by side with the 25, heading on down into turns 3 and 4. One final set of corners remain. Trevor Robertson 6/10 back, closing in, but it's not gonna be enough as the 2 of David Emig comes across the line and picks up the race win here tonight. Robertson there in 2nd, Timothy Pope in 3rd, Anderson 4th, and Jeremiah Burke in 5th.
Well, look at all the limitless drivers that finished up there together. Even Mike Adamson still in the top 10, picking up a 9th.
Pretty damn clean race here in Texas.
Absolutely. What a treat.
Yeah.
Emily Jane Smith said her phone actually made it to the end of the race, so I better go plug that thing in.
Well, we still have some things to get to here as these drivers kind of cool down a little bit. And like I said, man, we had a little bumping action going on there as the 2's doing some donuts. But we had out of 42 drivers, we had 41 complete tonight's race, and that means we have a big number of trucks available for that random draw driver of the day. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. It's going to be the 17th place finisher of Cody Sanderson driving the 88 machine, picking up that
17th, Cody Sanderson. Okay. Let me type to them and let them know.
Yeah, that's probably the most numbers you put in the jar before there, Brown.
Oh, by far.
That's a
But
lot of-
always good to have.
Wow.
As we wait for people to join us up here in the broadcast booth. Heck of a run by a lot of these guys here tonight at the No Limits Texas track, as you can see down there on the paint job on the racing surface.
It is a really cool track. If anybody ever gets a chance, go down there.
I've been
fun.
putting it off for years. I'd love
Fun.
to go.
Fun atmosphere, really is, and a lot of cool stuff. They added some new bars that might actually entice you.
Oh, come on.
English, they added some new stuff. It's super cool. Home track for me. I love it down there.
They have like them box seats where you can sit there and like at the Rangers games used to have at the old ballpark. You sit there and you got a bar right behind you.
I'm not rich, man. I don't know if they have that. I just hang out and walk around with a bush in my hand.
Something I got in common with you today.
There you go. I mean, if you want to bring your money, we can go get in that apartment. We'll just rent one of those apartments over there that oversees the race.
What?
Hang out up there. Yeah, they got a townhomes that oversee the race. Pretty cool.
Well, while we're waiting for some of these guys to join us, let's talk to tonight's random draw driver of the day. That's going to be the 88 of Cody Sanderson, picking up tonight's random draw driver of the day. Congratulations there, Cody. Finishing here up 9 spots in 17th. And man, I know normally in the iRacing world, 17th is nothing you'd want to tell your folks about, but here tonight with a 41 truck field and everybody racing for something, you got to feel pretty good about that 17th.
Oh yeah, I'm just happy to be able to finally finish one of these dang things. I was just babying it the whole entire race.
Well, you and your Who's Your Daddy teammates out there, what'd y'all think about the racing out here at Texas? I mean, did you think we were gonna have that many green flag laps? Only a couple of cautions out here tonight. And what do you think about the only having the one stage break?
I like only the one stage break. I think it spreads everybody out enough to where we don't have so much craziness going on. The having the 3 cautions was pretty nice, but I was kind of hoping for one there at the end so I could get some tires and wasn't having everybody smoke past me like they were. But I'm just happy to finish one.
Well, good job. You did finish it. And you got a little extra money in your pocket, a little fold of money. Good job on that. You got anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
I just want to thank my partner Wiley and Robert. He's been kind of guiding me and Wiley through all this setups and stuff on this asphalt stuff, because me and Wiley came from dirt and we haven't really ran asphalt very much, so he's kind of coaching us.
Awesome, man. Well, good job here tonight, Cody, and we look forward to seeing what you guys can do for that Who's Your Daddy racing team later on this season.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys.
So long, Sandman. That's what he's got on his windshield. It says Sandman.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, don't be making up nicknames. That's Turner's gig.
No, that's his nickname.
I came up with a new one tonight. We'll go over that later.
All
right. Well, we'll just talk to this man, no stranger to the booth. That's going to be the 728 of Timothy Pope, but not in that number 1 spot tonight. It's going to be in the number 3 spot. Man, Tim, you've had two good finishes so far this season. Make it now 3. Just not having the luck here at the end of these things to pick up the win, but still a solid run for that 728 machine up there at the front. How hard was the racing up there? Because, man, it looked like y'all were setting some blistering laps.
Yeah, it was pretty tough up there. They were all driving the wheels off of them tonight.
Well, you did a great job out there. Your whole team did very well. Limitless was 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 9th. So to get all of your trucks in the top 10 in a field of 42 cars, that's really saying something. You guys ought to be real proud of y'all's program you got over there at Limitless. Yeah, man, great race out there today, and yeah, I lost my train of thought. That don't really happen too often, but great race out there today. You got anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yep, shout out Limitless. Like you said, good race, good finish for all of them. VRL putting races on, you guys for broadcasting. D&D Grafix for the truck paints.
Adam Turner, did you have anything to ask?
Yeah,
No,
help me out here, Adam.
No, I didn't have. I had something, but I was like, that. Just leave it to English to do all the talking and no.
I'm sorry.
Listen, then he loses his brain. But no, Tim also. Obviously, we see you up here all the time. This is nothing new to you. Richmond next week. You got any quick thoughts on that?
Not really. I haven't run it a lot, so it'll be interesting for sure.
Good deal.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight, Tim, and we look forward to seeing what you can do and hopefully wind up in that winner's circle here next week at Richmond.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
As we move up this leaderboard, hopefully, English, you can find your mind here.
Keep it together, English.
I remember now what I was going to ask you, but it's too late. So
Yeah, we'll maybe ask the next guy.
Well, hopefully you can ask this guy, the 64, Trevor Robertson. We talked to him earlier tonight, and man, you stayed right on up there. It seemed like these kind of longer stages played into your favor here with the hard racing, and you were trying to catch up to that too on that final little few runs, but man, that was it was just a little too long, I think.
Yeah, I really hoped for a better chance at the 2, but the lab car kind of surprised me when he came down. I had to check up just a little bit, and I lost about half a second on the 2. But yeah, it was clean. Just tried to save tires, but I don't know. I kept messing my lineup going into 1, and it started getting really tight at the end there, so I couldn't make up any ground.
Well, what'd you think about all the green flag racing out there? Did you expect, like we did, maybe a couple more cautions out there tonight? This is a big track, but man, the truck count out there, 42 trucks out there on the track. Like I said, did you expect that few cautions, and did you have problems with lap traffic out there today?
Lap traffic wasn't too bad, but that was really surprising, honestly, because it's not too bad. Cold tires and exiting 2, I mean, it's easy to get sideways. I actually did pretty early in the race. And then 3 and 4, that white line is basically the curb. If you touch it too much, it'll send you up the track. So everybody did a really good job of keeping things clean, and hopefully we can do it again next week.
Well, and next week is Richmond. You got any thoughts on that? And anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Richmond's a good track. I don't have much experience on it, but it's a short track. You just gotta get your brake bias right and try and figure it out. And I'd like to, I guess, give a shout out to the Goodweiser teammates, and also to Ricky Wittenberg, because he's the one that revamped the Gorilla Glue scheme for me. So
Looks great.
I appreciate it. And thanks to you guys for putting on a good show at the broadcast booth.
Awesome, man. Well,
Thanks, man.
we appreciate it, and good running out here tonight, up 7 spots to finish there in second, and can't wait to see what you guys can do here next week at Richmond.
Alrighty.
And as we move up that leaderboard, we get to try to talk to him, and I think he's got his button figured out here. It's going to be the 2 of Dave Emmett picking up that big-time win here tonight. Dave, congratulations. Well, not only for the stage win, but you were able to hold on to that puppy all the way to the end. And, man, that is definitely saying something in tonight's race here at Texas. Dave, you got a copy, buddy?
I thought he had it
Okay,
figured out.
well, you got it?
Yeah, there we go.
We got him.
Welcome.
For some reason, my Discord won't work. The button won't work unless I'm actually clicked on Discord.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah,
Well-
I just held off, pretty much saved tires the whole race, and it worked out. I mean, towards the end, the 64 was coming, and I kind of just tried to stay a little bit out ahead of him to make his use his tires up, and then obviously he did, and then I pulled away a little there at the end.
Well, great race out there tonight. Great win. Great stage win also. A couple extra points for you tonight. I wanted to ask you about, you're from upstate New York, north of Albany. Is there any good racetracks out there? Like, where's your local track? Do you like to go to the local tracks, and do y'all have much good racing up there?
Yeah, we got like 6 to 7 good dirt tracks within hour and a half, 2 hours of me.
A lot better than what we got down here. I'm sure that's a really enjoyable thing on a Friday or Saturday night. And what did you think about this being a day race at Texas? We saw some high track temps out there, and it got pretty slick. It probably felt like a dirt car every now and then.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped me because I started wearing off the right front real hard. So it got tight, and then I would just throttle it up more in the corner, and it'd break it loose a little, and I could make it rotate.
Well, whatever you were doing definitely worked because you won this thing. Awesome race, good job, congrats. A little bit about Richmond. Are you familiar with Richmond? You like that track? That's next week. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like that track as well. Another track where you can dive it in deep and make it, use the brakes to make it rotate the corner real well and drive off hard. I'm usually pretty well there too.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations picking up the stage win and the overall win here tonight from Texas. Before I let you go, you got any shout-outs or anything like that you want to put out there?
Nah, just thanks to the group. Seems like a bunch of good guys. I mean, this is only my third race with these guys, but I mean, so far everybody's raced me pretty damn clean, so I'm happy.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the win, man, and good luck the rest of the season. And don't worry, the pressure's off. You're in the playoffs now, buddy. Good job.
Thank you.
We did get one more request for an interview, and that is from the Commander-in-Chief. It's Mr. Jess Vaught down there fighting back through the crowd after getting stuck a lap down. Just kind of untimely caution there for you there, Jess. But dang near almost got all the way back up to a top 10, man. Heck of a drive.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. Actually, I got caught double whammy right there because I was going into pit road and I saw Robertson coming in hot behind me and let off the brakes a little just for a second because I thought he was going to hit me, and I sped. So I got held for 40 seconds, and when I came out, then was the caution. So I went 2 laps down at that moment. So yeah, I was happy with that. But hey, I appreciate you guys pulling me in the booth. I really wanted to just come up here for a second and say thank you to the drivers of this league. We did some modifications to the rules based on some of the driving for the first 2 races of the season. And tonight, I couldn't be more pleased with the way that this went down. And hopefully, from the broadcast perspective, and I'll take one of those beers, by the way. From the broadcast perspective, this came off, much better from the viewer standpoint than the first 2 races.
I've always got a cold one ready for you.
Yeah, you sure popped that off. No, I thought it was great. The little changes you made. I know we had some problems with the incident points last week, but you bumped that up. I do like having one stage caution, and that helped this competition. Whatever you did worked because these guys were racing their ass off tonight, and nobody was getting too crazy out there, so it was fun.
Yeah, we made some modifications, and I wanted to see if you guys had any questions so that when you're informing the viewers, they know what's going on. But we got rid of IPL, so there's no more IPL because it was kind of going through the roof, but quite frankly with you. And then we went back to reviewing every single incident and determining fault. And there's consequences that go along with that, not only a race penalty, but a points penalty. So it's going to affect their championship points. And we had a really great drivers meeting tonight, and everybody took it on board and had great, insightful questions. And it seems like we get it. And I hope this carries forward. And to talk about stage breaks for a second, one of the things they've been asking is, could we bring the 2 stage breaks back? And what I've asked them for is a couple of races to see that we're settled out. So this was one of them. Next week at Richmond being the next one. And if it's a great race next week, which is a true test at a short track, then perhaps starting in Coda, we'll come back with the 2 stage breaks to get those extra stage point opportunities for the field.
Well, I'll say this, Jess. Y'all got the formula right as far as running a league and getting driver feedback, viewer feedback, broadcaster feedback. You guys take all of those variables and then sit down and come up with a common sense solution on how to make things better. And I think, it's working, obviously. You guys are, a great league to watch, and y'all doing a great job. Just want to let you know.
No, I appreciate that, guys. And I appreciate your time. I know you guys got the podium up here tonight. I just want to jump in here and say thanks to the league. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting and then answering any questions you guys might have had about how things have changed. And that's all we want. I had more fun, I'll be honest with you, tonight, driving from the back than I did the first 2 races of this season. I think that speaks volumes. I saw tight, hard, clean racing, and I also saw give and take when appropriate, so that we would prevent avoidable contact, and that's what made for some great racing tonight.
I couldn't said it any better myself. Jess, congratulations on that hard charge up back through this field, and just an overall congratulations to the Vigilante League on making those improvements. And man, we look forward to seeing what these guys can come out with here at Richmond next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting with around 43 cars in that short track, man. It should be fun to watch. Thank you, guys.
And
There'll be some thrown elbows, I think, next week.
hey, you ain't
It might
kidding.
be.
We saw some beating and banging here tonight. I can't imagine what we're gonna see coming up here next week. But that does it here for the race in action, guys. And man, just couldn't have said it better himself. We had people racing up at the front, people racing up in the middle, people racing up in the back. We had just about everything under the sun, and that is the type of racing we like to see here at Texas.
Well, boys, you guys want to do a little finishing order rundown here before we turn everybody loose?
Well, the lights may turn off before I get done with my section, but go ahead. Let's knock it out.
I think you have a little bit more time now there, Adam, as the 2 of David Emig wins both stages here, which means he's the overall winner big time here for that 2. Up all those spots. You got the 64 Trevor Robertson up 7 to finish in second here. Solid run there from him. 728 Timothy Pope, man, just trying to get on to that number 1 spot on the podium, but does a pretty good job here to stick it there here in third. You had the 747 of Albert Anderson holding on those older tires, up 19 spots to finish here in fourth. Great run, Albert. 753 Jeremiah Burke as well, hanging on up there in that final top 5 spot. 28 of George Rincon had a solid night as well, up 11 to finish in 6th. With the 01 at Kelly Keel, man, he was racing just about everybody here tonight, and for the most part came out on top, up 6 to finish here in 7th. 5 of Jonah Long. I think the maybe pit strategy just got to him here just a little bit. Those older tires failing kind of towards the end, but still a top 10 finish there for him in 8th. 751 Mike Adamson kind of in that same boat, kind of tailing off towards the end here, but still up in that top 10 in 9th. With the 81 of Jonathan Osborne, it rounds out that final top 10.
11th place will be the 33 of Jess Vaught. 12th will be the 92 of Greg Klein. The 13th place will be the 6 of Austin Reeves. The 48 of Jack Dixon will finish 14th. 15th will be Ricky Wittenberg in the 55. The 18 of Andrew Player finishes in 16th place. Lost about 10 spots there, but still able to finish in the upper half here. 17th place will be Cody Sanderson, our lucky draw driver tonight in the 88. The 63 of Ox, Josh Oxendine, he'll finish in 18th place. 19th, the 7 of Rocket Man, Russ Kilgore. Let's see here. 82 of Michael Everidge finishes in 20th. 21st will be the 123 of John Gallagher. The 68 of Dustin Wade will be 22nd, finishing tonight. Let's see. Robert Chipman in the 58 made up 10 spots after not having a great start out there. He'll finish 23rd. The 29 of Dave the Mouth Mayberry finishes 24th place. Jonathan Wiley in the 9 finishes 25th. Cody Tarrant in the 25 finishes 26th. 27th will be the 8 of Tony Pope. The 76 of Jeff Ottinger finishes 28th. 29th, the 34 machine of Mike Sobanovsky. And rounding out your top 30, the Bond villain himself, the 99 of Chris Sofeld.
14, Dustin Eaton took 31st. 57, Russ Endicott, 32nd place. 74, Robert Jordan ended up 33rd. 13, Earl Evans, our sponsor, not our sponsor, AAA Broadcast, 34th. 83, Charlie Herkus, 35th. 49, David L. Kelly, 36th. 10 of Andrew Cawthon ended up 37th. 4 of Deion Jones, rough night, 38th. 20, Jeffrey Johnson, 39th. 22, Matt Beamer, 5 laps down, fought it out, ended up 40th. 11 of Chad McCabe ended up 41st. And I don't think did Dustin really take the grid? I'm not
he
sure.
did, but he was
gridded.
he was involved in
Okay.
that lap 1 or lap 2
right.
wreck, and
42nd for Dustin. Rough
He
one
had
there.
enough. He had enough after that one.
He saw where he thought it was going, but it ended up being a great race.
so either way, there is your field here from Texas. We thank you all for tuning in and watching, as you guys are the reason why we do this, is to hang out with the great, fantastic fans that you all are each and every race. So be sure to hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button. And be sure to be on the lookout and get alerted every single time that we go live, as we got great racing action going on all week long here on these broadcasts, and we look forward to having you guys here along for the ride, as well as our great race sponsors like D&D Race Grafix, spelled Grafix. Be sure to go and get a paint scheme done by Mr. Ricky Wittenberg there himself. And man, every single person that sees these things, they say, man, that thing just pops out in the crowd. And that's what these paint schemes are all about here in iRacing, is getting some attention here. And it's always good to have it done by someone who's a part of this league. And we thank Ricky for that. So be sure to go send him a message on either the Facebook or on Trading Paints, and get yourself a good customized paint scheme from him here today, as well as his real life business of KEller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. Give Ricky a call at 423-444-0454. Whether you're looking to buy or sell your house in that Johnson City, Tennessee area or across the country, Ricky can either help you out personally or help you out by getting you in contact with the realtor in your area, as he's got a massive Rolodex full of contacts that he's willing to help you out with and get you in the proper frame of mind here to buy and sell that house, because this market is absolutely insane. You're definitely gonna need that help from a good quality realtor, so don't do it alone, and give Ricky a call. Well, that does it for us here from Texas tonight. We got some great racing action coming up on Friday night with the Nuntham's Racing League ARCA series, and that's going to finish off our week until Sunday. So we look forward to seeing y'all again on Friday night. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya, hosers.